coming into the draft here of game number 3 between Aura Fire as well as Onic Esports. Now, this is what I was going to talk about. With Keyboys stepping into the midst, Aura Fire is forced to ban that Natalia out, which leaves more options available on the board for both Onic to take.
Good read, good read. Natalia banned out here, but again, Onic Esports, after the loss in Game 2, they're still opting to stay on the red side, giving Aura Fire that first pick. But this time, they ban out the Faramis. Beatrix is open. The 100% win rate hero for Kabuki. They prioritized the Faramis early on, just in the second game. But this time, with the Faramis banned out, they gotta go for the Beatrix, right?
Well, in my opinion, Aura Fire is more worth it to take up the Beatrix first rather than the Valentina itself, because as we can see, if Onic takes the Valentina, they do need to copy some of the players from Aura Fires, right? And that can easily be countered by taking some non-really high impact ultimate heroes from Aura Fire. But no, a really big deny on what we just assumed. There is Beatrix and Valentina for Onic, because Aura thinks that Paquito is the better option for this game in the first pick for Aura Fire.
That's crazy. I mean, so far, actually, fun fact, just today, Beatrix has been sitting on a 0% win rate, all right?
Yeah.
Today, it's on a 0% win rate, and guess who's at 100%? Paquito. So, maybe it's the shift of meta again. It's the tournament meta progression. On Esports, though, they will not be shy. They'll just pick it up instantly, the Beatrix. And now, last time they went for the Esmeralda. This time, do they go for the same? Of course not. Valentina was open. They do not want to give it over to Facehugger.
But a little 2 cents for me that I'm not quite agree with Paquito using high and dry and without Bloodlust X at all. That makes the durability and the prolonged team fight for Paquito himself. He cannot fight too long in the battlefield when he's using high and dry or without the Bloodlust X.
It's very one-dimensional.
Yeah.
Paquito, high and dry, you need to build full damage and you need to play it like an assassin.
Yeah, that's the problem.
But here, Aura, they pick up the Yve and the Mathilda. Paquito should go to Fluffy in the XP lane.
This is interesting, right? Because when we thought that someone like the members from the side of Onic picking up the Valentina, that they've opted around ultimates that aren't as groundbreaking, but here they are, Aura Fire, with zero deciding factor to just pick up someone like the Yve, like the Matilda as well.
And I actually want to add, no, Paquito is not on 100% win rate. It's 100% win rate if it's picked up as the XP laner, because just now it was picked up as a jungler and it lost with the high and dry. Onic Esports with the final pick. Esmeralda still open up against a Mathilda and a Yve. It can be the choice, but they go for the Cho. Keyboy's signature pick.
Okay, this will be a big trouble for the Yve itself, because she will not have a safe space without looking at the map first, looking where the Cho is. And if we take a look at the Aura Fire's draft, with Matilda and Paquito in their minds, in their hands, that means that Aura Fire's movement will be pretty quick enough to do some inside or outside the team fight. And here are the head-to-head between Hai and Kairis.
Wow. So, but man, looking at the draft, Onic instantly with the Amon respect band, taking it away as an option for Hai to use. I mean, we saw how much damage he was able to utilize, and even onto the tanks. It was just a little too much for them to handle, I suppose, and that is going to be the ban that they have brought forth. Aura Fire, though, on the other hand, have opted for the Balman ban, so taking it away also for Kyrie.
Something to note down as well is, I think Onic Esports are setting themselves up for a dive composition. Baiting Aura Fire to ban out the Balman. Oh no, I thought they were going to be the ones who wanted to pick up Link, but they banned it here. So I was completely wrong as to what they were setting up for. Two of Hai's heroes. Is it wise to go and ban out Hai, the man that we know has the largest hero pool in MPL ID?
Yeah, we've seen Hai using Kufra as a jungler. We've seen Hai using Valentina as the jungler. So we could have some surprise pick for from Aura Fire themselves, but from what I've seen, Onic Esports, they ban towards Ling and Eamon, but they are still having some potential if we're talking about the XP lane. They still have some potential to take down some Yuzong, but no. Phobius has been picked by Onic Esports, and this will be some big matchup against Matilda and Paquito, since they will be prohibited really strictly by Phobius to not using their dash, and which means that this is some straight deny pick to Aura Fire. They are not being allowed to use Assassin Jungler in this game.
This brings me to the assumption that this Paquito is going to be in the EXP for sure. So no longer a flex because they did ban out the Esmeralda, but in response, Onic have picked up someone like the Phobius. But wow! Hai is going to be using that Natan in the jungle for sure, and this is gonna be Kabuki's signature Yuzong diving into the back line to disrupt whatever pressure that CW has with that Beatrix.
Oh, it's very risky by Aura.
As I said before, with the Ling and Eamon has been banned, Aura Fire needs some surprise pick, and here we are. We are surprised really well with the appearance of Yuzong and Nathan. One more pick from Onic Esports, and they seem to need some junglers, and Lancelot it is, who can easily dive in to take down Nathan. But the problem with Lancelot in this meta is he's going to fall off really quickly in maybe 13 or maybe 14 minutes into the game.
I thought it was going to be a Julian for Kyrie, but like you mentioned, they go for the high-risk, high-reward hero. Lancelot on the hands of someone as talented as Kyrie, mechanically, is very scary, especially because you already have a very immobile hero in the jungle. You have Natan. Kyrie on the Lancelot, will it be good or not? This time, we will see. A lot of signature picks coming in, but now we are going to get ready for the final game of the series, ladies and gentlemen. I do believe if it goes all the way to the late stages or the mid-game, Aura might have a little bit of an edge, but we're going to jump straight into the portal for the decider, ladies and gentlemen. Onic Esports versus Aura Fire.
The last life here for both of the teams to make it into that upper bracket slot here in week number 5. And as you can see here, Godiva is going to be on the Matilda, so expect very aggressive plays here, usually, because that's what we usually see Godiva.
And expect Kyrie to bring Demon Slayer. There, Kyrie, Demon Slayer. Boots opted to go for Avarice on the Phobius. So he wants to get that power spike faster. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, that's going to be Kyrie jumping in again. Godiva taken down for sure. First blood already by Onic Esports onto the hands of Kyrie. Presented to you by Samsung Galaxy A series, but Fluffy jumps in. Keyboy able to flicker out. Hai going for Retribution. Wins it out against Kyrie. Flame shot coming in as well, as Sans wants to keep it going, but they will both disengage.
Wow, with Lancelot in mind, we can see that the playing area for Onic Esports, they have to do some really quick win for this game, because as we all know, Lancelot has a really bad fall off in the late game area, and considering that Aura Fire has Fluffy, which will always and will be permanently scaled up by his items, this will be some kind of assassin versus assassin power, even though Paquito is a fighter.
But also remember that Kabuki's not on a marksman either, so if it goes to that matchup, if we want to see who is going to be taken into the late game, we also have to consider that Kabuki's on a fighter. He's not going to scale as well as CW on the Beatrix when it comes down to the later stage of the game. And so, as Boots, Phobius is also going to scale when it comes down to it. So, very difficult matchup. I'm not really sure who is going to be in the upper hand. I do believe Onic Esports, though, with CW, with Boots, as well as Sans, might probably have a better advantage.
That's why Hai picked up the Natan, because they don't have that late game insurance in the gold lane. So they shift that over into the jungle. He won't have as much pressure when it comes to the wave clear or the jungle clear as Kyrie. As you can see, Onic are first onto the turtle. And this is why it is a risky pick for Aura Fire. First objective taken by Onic Esports, by Kyrie, Turtle Slain, presented to you by the Samsung Galaxy A series.
Wow, okay. In the early phase, I can see that Onic Esports have a quite good and decent also in the rotation scheme where they can take the first turtle. But Aura Fire, when they are using a high jungler using Nathan, this will be a big problem because as we all know, Nathan is really item dependent heroes. His item need a cooldown reduction for the passive to stay up and on the maximum side, or maybe take the attack speed power to make the most DPS out of Nathan. And as we can see from the item itself, Nathan is using the killing spree emblem plus the penetration and the movement set on the talent.
And this means that... Oh, what was that?
That was a prediction.
Forced the flicker there. So very interesting, very aggressive as well. And this is the thing, Aura Fire, they need to be able to force other things on the map. They can't control the neutral objectives because of their composition. So how are they going to translate that? Because so far, Aura Fire here in that gold lane, but wait, what? Boots in a 2v1 situation is actually going to be able to make it out alive.
Not just that, he's actually able to win the trade, popping off the demonic force and just shooing them away, just like you guys can shoo the dandruff from your hair with the head and shoulders that you see on screen. Limited edition with Tigreal on the packaging. Kyrie stealing out the purple buff, finishing his 100 strike right now.
One thing that I'm concerned with Aura Fire is that Facehugger is using Yiv in this game, but as we all can see, there is Boots using Phoveus, so one Astaros Eyes can actually decline or maybe refuse the real world relation pops out by the Facehugger.
Yeah, negation, that's going to be key when it comes down to those 5v5 team fights, but it seems like Aura Fire aren't actually going to look for a different trade on the map. They're going full throttle, setting up for this turtle.
Real world inflation popped in by both of the teams. Kabuki instantly canceling out, but Kyrie wins the retreat battle. Boots now jumping in with the demonic force. That's going to be CW picking up a kill onto Godiva. No more kills on the board. Fluffy trying to open up the map just a bit, but Onic Esports win another trade. 2-for-0, kill and turtle.
That's not good. Onic Esports now with a 1,000 gold lead, and it wasn't just any kill. It was a kill for CW. That's not something that you want to feed, especially now that you see that he's able to win that top lane. But Kyrie getting very aggressive here onto Natan, who he knows has very limited movement control.
Ooh, okay, there's some waste resource on the Lancelot itself, but as we all know, it is actually needed to play aggressively against Nathan, especially in this early game, to make a stop on the Nathan's gold itself. And we can see that the gold gap between the jungler, Lancelot, and Nathan is not that high. It's just about 700 gold in a difference. But the item itself, no. There's no difference in the items, just only in the gold itself. But as we can see on the Aura Fire, Godiva is not doing so much in this game since he's always being poked by Keyboy. And whenever he is going to do some circling eagles, Keyboy is always defending Giv at this point.
That's what you can expect from Keyboy. That's something, maybe that's one of the reasons why Onic Esports have actually opted to move in Keyboy and take Samo out here in this game. Maybe they realized that Samo was playing a little too passively and they needed that aggression coming in. And you can see now already a play coming in from Onic.
Kyrie already with the conceal play coming in. Kabuki is going to be able to dash away, but it all just sets up for the turret take. Beautiful movement from Onic Esports, enabling CW to pick up the turret for free, but Fluffy waiting in the bush, goes over the knockout strike onto two members, dishing out a whole lot of damage, but he will be taken low. Onic Esports on the run. Kabuki trying to run them down as well as he patches up onto Boots. Keyboy gonna get taken down. Demonic Force pop it in, but Boots is gonna fall. Kyrie jumps in onto the members. Kabuki still able to zone him away. CW jumps in with a flicker, not able to finish Facehugger off. Real world manipulation popped in onto CW, but he guns them down, sniping each one, picking up a wipeout and a triple kill.
What? Did you see CW there? Woo! He was caught in that real world manipulation. He used his dash and he was able to use that last snipe onto Facehugger to take him down and prevent him from getting taken down himself. And that was insane. 5 members from the side of Aura Fire instantly eliminated. Onic Esports pushing their gold lead to 4,000. And now with that, they are going to be able to get this turtle uncontested. Aura Fire now back on the back foot.
he did not care
Wow.
at all about that real-world manipulation. As we can see, there are some damage that has been inputted to the CW himself, but well, he's just wagging around there and taking the runner and one shot through the Eve with 2 bars left. Still can be taken down by CW, and that's a big momentum for Onic Esports since they wiped out the entire team of Aura.
Oh my god! CW, that's why you pick up the big tricks! Jeez! What was that?
Mirko 500 KDA here in the 7th minute.
Oh, that... Oh my god, CW is popping off. You're not going to be happy if you're Aura Fire right now, because when you give this much space to CW, he pops off. Kyrie also with a BOD. CW getting another snipe into Kabuki. Oh, this is dangerous.
This is dangerous because Aura Fire's quote-unquote safety net was Kabuki. Kabuki to be able to dive into that backline, disrupt CW on that Beatrix. But even now, one Renner shot takes Kabuki to half health. So if he thought that that was achievable, it's going to be very difficult. He needs to itemize fast.
This is some playground for CW. Even when we see Lancelot diving in, he's not going for the kill, he's just doing some poking damage when CW is the real finisher for the Onic Esports.
Absolutely. Here as well, you can see, right as you say, the finisher, CW finishes up that turret. Fluffy's trying to go for a trade. Oh, he might be overextending here. Oh, he goes in for one more jab. 2 members trying to cut him off. Fluffy against 2 members. Keyboy comes in with the Jikundo. CW's going to be able to one-tap him right here. Fluffy!
Oh my...
1 HP. Keyboy trying to catch him. He's able to run away. Snipes! You cannot get away from CW!
What was that? Oh, the snipes! So beautifully placed, so effective, so efficient. And that's CW. We usually see CW not making these flashy plays, but man, his micro has really progressed here in his MPL ID Season 10. And now, Onic Esports once again on the top lane will be able to get this Lord uncontested. Aura Fire, no solution whatsoever.
This is the result when you let Beatrix used by CW. He's using his runner like he's using his Nibiru. Never miss a shot at all. In this game, as far as I can see, as far as my ninja eyes can see, he did not miss a damage at all using the runner. And even when we'll take a look at the items itself, using Blade of Despair, and then Hunter Strike, Malefic Roar, and then going through, I think it's about Blade of Heptasis that is going to be built by Beatrix. This is going to be quite a lot of damage, and since Kyrie is not really good at late game potential because he's a Lancelot, using Beatrix as the finisher is a really genius thing for the Onic Esports himself. And even when we see Cho in this game using Radiant Armor, Hercules Belt, Dreadnought Armor, and Leonard Jerkin, he is enough to dive in to the Aura Fire teams and then kidnap one of the players.
Let's see right here, CW going for the siege onto the base turret with the Lord. Keyboy zoning the other members away with the Jikundo as well. They pick up the base turret in the mid lane. Kyrie dashing in. Sans doing the same thing, but they are able to find one base turret with the Lord. That's very value.
10,000 gold lead here for the side of Onic Esports, and they're gonna keep pushing with the mini plays flashing here in the top and the mid side. That's exactly what they're going for.
Keyboy as well, gonna get knocked up twice as CW munches on the turret. Going for the turret shots once again. Kyrie dashes in as well with the Thorn Rose. Kabuki jumping. Kyrie doing the same. He's just styling on Aura Fire right now. 11,000 gold lead now. And Onic Esports decide, that's it. We're backing off discipline.
Dude, Lilas is insecure. Seeing a Beatrix can do a lot of damage to the turret without a minion at all. Just take a look at the damage at the top lane before. It's so big that CW doesn't necessarily need the minion to be pushed on the top lane. And we can see that Aura Fire, the only turret that left for the Aura Fire is only the bottom turret. And we can see that in 50 seconds countdown, the Lord is going to pop up, and this Lord is going to be enhanced, and this Lord will have an enhanced power to take down the base turret since 2 of the inhibitor turrets from the Aura Fire has been taken down. But one thing that I noticed is Sans in this game, he's not using quite a lot of his ultimate because back again, he does not have enough space to take the real relation from Isagar.
Does CW miss? He landed that render shot onto high, and that literally just gave Onic Esports the base turret down below. 3 base turrets down before the Enhanced Lord even spawns Eterna.
They don't even need it at this point. Look at the way that they're playing the waves as well. They're trying to bait Aura Fire from coming out, because if they don't, they're not going to get any gold. Already a 12,000 gold lead here. And Kyrie, to top it all off, already with a Malefic Roar.
Remember as well, now that they have the Enhanced Lord, all CW needs to do is flicker onto the base. 4 shots is all it takes from the Wesker. With the help of his team, maybe he can just hit it once and it'll be over. Aura need to stop Onic Esports from getting into the base. With the Enhanced Lord, how do they do that?
Well, simple. They still can use Kabuki as a distraction and maybe just to be sponge damage for the Lord itself outside of the inhibitor turret. But not only that, Facehugger still have the real worm elevation. But the problem is, Facehugger is using Impure Rage. And the condition for the Onic Fire, they are really pressed down so hard by Onic Esports, which I don't know. Facehugger, did he have enough items to make real worm manipulation make the Lord feels the pain? Because we can see that the items are not quite so good for the Aura Fire standpoint.
Let's see, Fluffy already taken very low. Again, real world relation popped in, but it's gonna be Kabuki who gets pinned down, taken out. Godiva jumps in onto CW. It looks like it won't happen for Aura. Onic Esports stay on top, wiping every member, securing #1 for at least a week. What a dominant display in game #3.